In this video, we're going to be finding the monthly payment, the total payment, and interest for a loan. When Deborah bought her new townhome, she got a mortgage from the bank. The mortgage was a personal amortized loan for $91,000 at an interest rate of 3.9% and monthly payments for a term of 30 years. So our instructions say for each part, do not round any intermediate computations and round your final answers to the nearest cent. If you're doing this problem in ALEKS and you do round the intermediate computations, you're still going to get the right answer, just an FYI. Okay, so here's our monthly payment formula. So we've got some variables in here. P is going to be the principal. So in this case, P is equal to 91,000. Okay. R is the interest rate, and we want to write that in terms of a decimal, not a percent. So if we take the 3.9 and we move the decimal over twice, because we're dividing by 100, the 3.9 will become 0.039 as a decimal. Okay. And then the last part is the T, which is time in years, and we're given that T is 30. Okay. So I'm going to plug that stuff into this formula. Okay, so we have M is equal to, okay, so first the principal, that's 91,000. Okay, and then we have the R, which is 0.039 and divided by the 12. Okay, so that's this part. And now for the bottom part of this fraction, now we've got 1 minus parentheses 1 plus our R again, which is 0.039. Okay, and then divide by 12 again. Okay, and then our exponent is negative 12 times, and the T is 30. Okay, so that is what we're going to use, and we'll type that into the calculator, and let's see what our monthly payment is. So here's a calculator. You can also use the calculator. It doesn't need to be a graphing calculator for this. All right, so here we go. Parentheses, 91,000, close parentheses. Or actually, let's leave the parentheses open, times, and then we'll have 0.039 divided by 12. So I'm going to close both parentheses on the top. And now for the bottom, we have a parentheses, and it'll be 1 minus, here's another parentheses, 1 plus, and it'll be 0.039 divided by 12. Then close the parentheses, raise it to the power of negative 12 times 30. So you can just plug in that number if you want and see that would be, let's see, 660, or you could just multiply. Okay, so negative 12 times 30. And then we will close that last parentheses, the one that we started on the entire bottom. Okay, so we hit enter, and we get $429. And let's see, we're going to look at this to round. So the 21 cents, but it rounds up because of this 8. So it'll be 22 cents. So equals, let me write that down, $429.22. Okay, now it says not to round the computations, so I'm not going to, but you could use this number as well, and ALEKS will accept it as a good answer. Okay, so let's go on to the next question. If Deborah pays the monthly payment for each month for a full term, her total amount, find her total amount to repay the loan. So what that means is that this is how much she's paying a month, and we need to multiply it by the duration of the loan per month. So we have 30 years, and every year has 12 months, right? So 30 times 12. Okay, so 360. So that is going to be how many months she has to pay this amount. So if we multiply $429 and 22 cents, or if we use this one, which would be 0.218 and so on, 180659, and multiply that by 360, we'll get an acceptable answer. So multiply the 360 times 429.2180659, and we get 154,000 and 518 and 50 cents. Okay, so that's equal to, and this is money, 154,518 and then 50 cents. Okay, if you would have used the rounded decimal, you would have gotten this. Just delete all this here and put a 2 in its place. And you see the answer is really close. Now it's $154,519.20. It'll accept that answer as well. All right, let's do the last one. If Deborah pays the monthly payments each month for the full term, find the total amount of interest she will pay. Okay, so the amount of interest she's going to pay is the difference between this, which is what she actually paid, and this, which is what the loan was for. Okay, 91,000 was for the loan, but she actually paid back this amount of money. So to find this, we do $154,518 and let's get those decimals out there. 5037. Okay, and then I will subtract off the 91,000. Okay, so here we go. 154.518.5037 minus 91,000. Whoops, let's go to that. Oh, too many decimals. Huh. Don't need a decimal there, do I? Okay, and this should have been 91,000. Okay, and there we go. So we get an answer of the interest amount that Deborah paid was $63,518.50. Okay, there we go. Let's do another one. Okay, for this problem, to help open a wine bar, Trey borrowed money from an online lending company. He took out a personal amortized loan for $47,500 and an interest rate of 6.5%, and with a monthly payment for a term of years. Sorry, I should have put an 8 there. It was supposed to be 8 years. Sorry about that. So 8 years. We'll just write that here. Sorry about that typo. Okay, so that will be our time. So let's figure out what our things are. The principal is the amount of money. So P is 47,500. R is the interest rate as a decimal. Okay, so it'd be 0.065. And then time will be the number of years, which in this case is 8. Okay, so I'm going to type this in. Let me write it out first. M is equal to, here we go, 47,500. And then we have the R is 0.065 over 12. Okay, and then on bottom we have 1 minus 1 plus the R, which is 0.065 divided by 12 to the power of negative 12, and then the number of years would be 8. Okay, so negative 12 times 8 is negative 96 if you want to use that instead. Okay, so let's go to the calculator and see what we got. So open parentheses, here's the 47,000 times, and let's do 0.065 divided by 12 and close the parentheses on the top. Okay, and then divide, open up another parentheses for the bottom, 1 minus, here's a second parentheses, 1 plus 0.065 divided by 12, close this parentheses, raise it to the power of negative 12 times 8, which is negative 96 if you want to type that in. Okay, and then close your final parentheses. And there we go. So we get $629 and what would it be? 15 cents. So equals, M is equal to a monthly payment of $629.15. Okay. So now the next question, if Trey pays the monthly payment each month for the full term, find their total amount to repay the loan. So it'd be this number is the monthly payment times how many years, and then times 12. So 8 times 12, 8 is the number of years, 12 is the months in a year, so that's 96. So we're going to multiply this number right here by 96. I already have it in my calculator, so I'll just hit times 96. And that gives me 60,398.68. Okay, so I didn't have to round this one or this one, either one, because the numbers next to them didn't make them round up. Our last question, if Trey pays the monthly payment each month for the full term, find the total amount of interest they will pay. Okay, so we know the total amount of money that Trey paid was this, but we know they only took a loan for $47,000, $47,500 actually. Oh, I changed it to 47. Oh well, not a big deal. Let's say that was just 47,000. So this would be $60,398, and here's my decimals, 153, and I will subtract the 47,000, not 47,500, because I've done the whole problem incorrectly because I typed it in wrong here, but that's all right. So we'll get, subtract 47,000, and that gives us $13,398.68 is how much Trey paid in just interest. And that's it.